Hello and welcome. You are attending Unlocking Business Success with ChatGPT. I'm Rhonda Kay, developer, consultant, entrepreneur. Tell you a little bit about myself. I was one of the first to have quality online video. I was one of the first online talk shows, and I've worked with names in sports and entertainment, big names, that is. I piloted the first app development course at the University of Texas at Arlington, and I created the first iPhone app for the Dallas Video Festival. And I have been your go-to business consultant, developer, entrepreneur for many small businesses. And have a lot of background in enterprise development. A lot of people may not know what that is, so I will spare you of those details. As a child, I liked poetry, acting, and art and drawing. My sister and I, when we were teenagers, we thought we were professional photographers. That's a photo of me that my sister took. We prided ourselves in being able to get professional, great quality with a 35 millimeter photograph. And one of the things we did learn from our mom is that our faces should never be against the sun if you want to get good lighting. So that was my first lesson in lighting. And I got married young, and I went to college as a young adult, young married adult. And I ended up in tech because I was pregnant with my first child and I did not want to continue pursuing a medical degree because I thought being a parent would be much more enjoyable for me. And it did turn out to be so. And so I started my corporate journey in 1993. And in 2005, I created a t-shirt company called Rather Be, and those t-shirts were great. They were t-shirts that said, I'd rather be fishing, or I'd rather be sailing, or I'd rather be whatever it is in the world you'd rather be doing. That's what the t-shirt said. And they were great designs. My favorite one was, I'd rather be the salt of the earth. And so we made the partner I worked with, we made our first batch for the church, and it said, I'd rather be the light of the world. And it glowed in the dark. I was pretty proud of that. And so, not necessarily in this order, I produced the Visual Word Series DVD, and I taught myself to do that. There were no courses, followed by or preceded by the Rhonda K Show. And I am currently relaunching that with a whole new season of shows. Here on this page, you'll see several of the people that I've interviewed, just a few of the guests. And perhaps you qualify to be a guest. You can visit rhondakshow.com and submit an inquiry to see if you and I may be a fit for a guest on the Rhonda K Show. Fast forward to today. Well, you know, AI is everything. And in last quarter of 2022, OpenAI released to the public ChatGPT, and people got on it, and including myself, just to see what this thing was all about and what all it could do. And we discovered a lot. It can do a lot of things. So much so, we got so much information that we decided to write a book called Prompt and Prosper with ChatGPT and Artificial Intelligence. And I thought that was a pretty clever name because you really can grow your business or increase your income potential just by using ChatGPT, as you'll see. And I'll show you an example of what I was able to do early on just by experimenting with ChatGPT. I actually created a web page. You know, you may have heard of rumors that you can actually do coding with ChatGPT. And I say that's only true if you actually know how to code, and you can give it the proper prompts so that it produces the right results for you. And along with that comes the responsibility of not divulging personal information, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But before we get started, and maybe to get you a little bit excited, let me show you what I was able to do. This is early with ChatGPT, and that is I was able to build this web page, and I gave it a command, and the command went something like this: create a web page for me in Bootstrap HTML with a title, a catchy title for SEO that grows your business, and I am promoting an ebook. I want this page to be 2 titles, and this is what I actually told ChatGPT, give or take a few of the words. And I want it to be 2 columns. On the right, it will contain the form, the opt-in form, and on the left, it will contain the content. And so this is what it gave me based on the information that I gave it. Now, periodically, you'll have to go back and forth with ChatGPT, and that's okay. I'm going to show you how you can produce your own prompts, in this webinar. So if you're ready, we're going to get right into things, and give me a moment just to get my computer straight, because as I'm recording this, my Zoom screen controls cover up my screen. So there's that. Why are we here today? Well, if you signed up for this webinar, you either are business owners and you want to know how you could possibly use or leverage ChatGPT features to enhance your business. I can show you some of that. You may be an entrepreneur and you want to know how you can effectively use ChatGPT as a solopreneur or as an entrepreneur of a small business. I'll give you one hint. If you're a small company, you could potentially use ChatGPT as an assistant to get things done, especially tasks that require a lot of writing. You may be a professional in your career, and you may want to know how you can use ChatGPT to enhance your career or to even teach you. For instance, I am studying cybersecurity. So as I am studying that, I can ask ChatGPT to give me an outline of some of the topics that I should be studying and a brief synopsis. You could ask ChatGPT some things like, could you summarize this book for me? Give it the book title and it'll give you a quick summary. That will let you know if you want to proceed to read that book further. There are just a ton of different things that you could do, and we won't get into all of them today. Why are you here today? Well, people are concerned about ChatGPT and the future of their jobs. Will ChatGPT take away jobs? Yes and no. It will take away jobs, but it will also create jobs. So, for instance, before there were cell phones, there were home phones and landlines, and there were telephone operators who would help you place phone calls. Well, when telephone operators went away, we ended up having call centers where people answered the phones. We ended up having automated voice response units. In fact, I even used to program those. And that is how we started transitioning. ChatGPT will do the same thing. ChatGPT, we're going to show you how it can help you in business, and we've kind of touched on that already. And we're also going to learn what we call prompt engineering. When you can write a prompt or give instructions to ChatGPT to produce an output, then you are prompt engineering. The effective use of prompt engineering is giving it the right instructions that produces the most accurate results. Now, my promise is by the end of this presentation, you will have the knowledge you need to write ChatGPT prompts. Will you be an expert? Maybe, but not necessarily. It's going to take practice, and I encourage you to do that immediately following this presentation. So the first thing you're going to do, you want to create an OpenAI account. We'll cover that. Then you want to get acquainted and learn the lingo. You'll use the website, and if you've downloaded my free book, my free ebook, then I have a dictionary in the back of the book that covers terms you should know. And we're also going to learn example prompts. I have an example prompt we're going to cover in this presentation. I'm going to show you what I call the setup prompt, and that's whether you have my free ebook or the paid version. And then I'm going to tell you a little known tip and trick for using AI for everyday productivity. And after that, I'm not going to say you are a prompt engineer, but you could call yourself that if you want to. I'm going to give you some next steps. Before we get into that, I want to do a shameless plug. I am a developer of products and services, one of which is the Leadsy.net website platform. Take a look at it. It is where we do all the work for you, and you literally plug and play your information. You don't have to worry about coding. I show you how to position your website at the top of the search engines, and all of this for a low monthly cost. I even hold your hand, me and or someone from my team, with the onboarding and setup, and get you well on your way to producing an enterprise website for your business. That is, you get to look like one of the big boys without paying all of the big boy costs. And just to give you an idea of some of the offerings that we have, you can get an offering as simple as $35 per month, and that's just the lead generation version. Or you could get the Leadsy full with access to all of the platform features, or you can even register for a one-time, as of this recording, a one-time lifetime access to the full platform, and everything is free after that one-time payment forever. You get access to any future upgrades with no additional cost. But that, I don't know how long it's going to last. So now let's get into what we came here for, and that is to talk about artificial intelligence and ChatGPT. Artificial intelligence refers to human intelligence in machines. They're programmed to think like humans. So they're not human, therefore they're artificial, which is why we call them artificial. But you get to interact with them just like you would a human being. You talk to them like you would talk to me. And I had a joke with, I was working on this project, and this one guy kept asking me, well, how do I do this? And where do I go to make this change in the code? And I would type the information back. And then I told him, hey, I feel like I'm ChatGPT responding back, because it was in a text and we were responding back in Slack, which is another chat tool. And so ChatGPT, what it is an application made up using AI by the company OpenAI. And they went public in, I want to say October, maybe November of 2022, and they have been becoming more and more popular from that time. And it has the ability to generate human-like responses when you type in a text-based instruction or prompt. A well-crafted ChatGPT prompt can lead to innovative marketing campaigns. That means it'll work for social media. It works for other strategies online. It works for email. And so marketing and advertising is a great way to use ChatGPT. I made a video about it. I did a 7-day marketing campaign using ChatGPT. I'm not very good at social media because I'm a technical person and I don't necessarily think like a marketer. So I said, well, why don't I use ChatGPT to come up with a marketing campaign? And I made be able to show you that if we have enough time. If not, just go to my YouTube channel and you'll be able to watch it there, the strategy that I did. But I am going to show you a live prompt in this video, one of the prompts that, and maybe it is that particular one. I can't remember which one until we get to it. So let's just see. You can use ChatGPT for research and competitive analysis. That is, when you're building your business, you have to do a lot of research. And that research is on your competition, it's on different people who are doing the same things you are. You want to know what tools they're using, what strategies they may be using. You want to check them out. You want to know where to find best practices. You can use ChatGPT to find out information like that. And in fact, in the book, we show you prompts that will get you this type of information. You can use ChatGPT in your HR and talent management. Do things like create your HR documents, like write out me a policy for X or Y or Z. I even show you that in the book. It can help you streamline your recruitment process. You can use ChatGPT to find out what tools are the best for your business and what tools fit. You can have it print out a list of different tools that people are using, the most popular. I'll give you a caveat about ChatGPT. It has, at the time of this recording, a um, a capacity to give you information up to the year 2021. And at some point, I imagine they will add the years after that. But ChatGPT consists of data from a lot of different sources. So imagine you have this huge database and you have to collect all the data and all of the learning information that's going to go in it. That's going to take quite some time to build, but we're able to use it up to the year 2021. Now, that was the latest information I had. Of course, it could have changed by the time you're watching this video. You can use ChatGPT for customer service. Now, customer service is huge. In fact, I may show you this in a different video, but I did build a customer service AI assistant for my husband's business, where you could go to his website and you can ask customers about the business and even place an order. Now, it's not perfect. It's still kind of in beta. And so I'm still experimenting there. But that is just to give you some of the capabilities of artificial intelligence. So there's much fear and debate about whether it'll replace many jobs, but really it is up to us. We, the users, decide how ChatGPT is going to be used. Because we're using this technology, you're going to discover new ways, as well as me. The more we use it, you're going to get off this call and you're going to go start playing with OpenAI and ChatGPT, and you're going to come up with your own prompts in addition to the prompts that I give you in my free book or in the paid book. Now, to get started using ChatGPT, all you need to do is go to openai.com and click on Try ChatGPT. Here's the screen print here. And once you log in, it may ask you to confirm your account, verify your account by clicking a link, and then you are free to begin using ChatGPT. Now, I want to give you a rule. If you don't remember anything else in this presentation, remember to never, ever, ever put personal information into the ChatGPT input box when writing a prompt. And the reason is because it is a huge database, and that information is being processed and is hitting those servers going back and forth in order to give you an answer. And we don't know if it is keeping that information. And I have a feeling that it is. I can't prove this, but let's say you put your social security number in there, or you put your company's personal information that you don't want people to know about, but you need answers. Don't do that. What you'll do instead is put placeholder information instead of the actual information. Give it dummy information instead of your own personal information. And that way, you've heard the person say, hey, I have a friend and they want to know this or they want to know that. Well, do the same thing with ChatGPT because you want to be aware of protecting your information as well as your company's information. And now I want to give you an example of how you can use ChatGPT um, to input your prompt. So in the book, the free download, I give you what I call the setup prompt. And that setup prompt gives you basic information and you basically copy and paste it into the chat input box. And that's what this is showing here. And if you, for instance, want to skip a line, this is one of those little tips. You can skip a line or go to the next line by placing your key in the chat inbox. For instance, description, we are a full service dine-in, carry-out, and delivery restaurant. So to make that line break, I went to the end of that line where right after restaurant, put my cursor there and pressed enter. And if I want another line, press enter again, and then I can keep typing. So whenever you want to divide your information to make it a little bit more understanding for ChatGPT, you can do that. And that's how you would do it. You can copy and paste whole paragraphs and you can format that text to make it easier for you to read and ChatGPT as you go. And in fact, in the book we created, there are copy paste prompts and they are multiple lines. So you'll want to be able to kind of format those in the text box. Now, to your left, you will see finance and money, market intel. This is where your different conversations, a conversation is a dialogue between you and ChatGPT. It can be one question or it can be multiple follow-up questions. And ChatGPT will allow you to save all of your communication into separate conversations. So as you can see on my screen, I have a conversation on finance and money, and then I have another conversation on market intelligence and competitive research. And in fact, the book shows you how to add those prompts. And so I added all of my questions and conversations and prompts for finance and money into that one thread. And the same for marketing and market intel and competitive research. So that is a way that you can keep up and stay organized with the conversations or the dialogues that you have with ChatGPT. Now, here is a ChatGPT prompt. This is what I used. And I gave it this prompt. This is kind of recently. I haven't done the stuff yet, but I'm going to tell you the prompt. I said, can you create me a social media schedule of content for 1 week that displays what I should post for my business? Then I gave ChatGPT some context. I skipped a line and I said, I am a web developer who can integrate artificial intelligence into applications. I can provide training on technical subjects. I can create secure custom WordPress websites, themes, and plugins. So ChatGPT took all of that information and it gave me an output. So the first thing you'll want to do is when you're creating a prompt is ask your question, but you also, in addition to that, want to give it some context to or some clues so that it can better answer your question. And so ChatGPT said, sure, here's a social media schedule for 1 week highlighting different kinds of content appropriate for your business. And of course, it wasn't in this format. I just summarized it. I didn't give you everything that it gave me, but it gave me a long list of ideas with detail for days 1 through 7. It gave me day 1 and through 5 separately, and then it gave me day 6 and 7 combined because I guess it was the weekend. I don't know, but this is the output. Promote your services and expertise, and then it gave me a meme that I could write or an idea for a video. And then it told me to share valuable resources and industry news. Now, you could take this same information. I already did the prompt, but this same information that works for me, it'll work for you on your social media, in your business. All you have to do is the same thing. And if you want the detail that it gave me, then I'll be happy to share that with you. You could reach out this will be on YouTube, and you could comment and ask me for that. Or you can just do the same prompt that I showed you at the beginning on the page before. Now, the book we created was titled Prompt and Prosper with Artificial Intelligence and ChatGPT. It's written by me and another technical professional guru, David Merritt, and we got together and we combined our findings and we put it all in this nice little book to cover 10 prompts in the free ebook, and plus it has some additional chapters too. We've got 10 different chapters, and these are the chapters that the book consists of: marketing research and competitive analysis, business strategy and planning, marketing and advertising, sales and customer acquisition, finance and money. And I'm not going to read all of them, but this is what the book looks like. It's a nice, colorful, beautiful book. Now, we have it on both Amazon and we have it on our website as well. If you buy it on Amazon, you get all of the same information, but it's divided up. You don't get it all into one book. And this book was written by David and I, and we're both tech professionals. We've been in the industry, and it's not like we're salespeople who wrote this book, but we know small business because we are small businesses, and we wrote it with the small business person in mind. And you are getting this book written from a technical perspective. Although you're getting it from a technical perspective, you're talking to someone or you're listening to someone right now who has experience in breaking technical language down to everyday language. So if you've been listening to this presentation, I don't think you've heard one big intimidating word on this presentation. Now, when you open the book, this is an example of what the page looks like. It has the title for the first one, and then it has the purpose of the prompt, and then it actually lists the prompts where you can copy and paste it. Then it tells you try it now while you're logged into ChatGPT. Sometimes you'll see the try it now. Sometimes you'll see a challenge where it'll give you homework or it'll give you additional follow-up. And you can copy and paste all of these prompts right into ChatGPT, and you get to customize it for your business. We show you how to do that. And we also color coded for those of you who buy the PDF ebook. We color coded. If you buy the print ebook, there is a beautifully color coded book. David wanted to have pictures, and I like pictures. I'm an artist, but he thought it would be really great if we had some color in the book, and it would bring more interest to the book. The other way the book is set up is that you'll have the chapter followed by the content in the chapter, and then you'll see the prompts. So you have the chapter introductions, like chapter 3 is on marketing and advertising. And so I did some work on the power of persuasion in marketing, and that's like a few pages long. You read that and get a little bit more insight. But this book literally does cover every area of business that concerns your small business. And as you read this book and use the prompts we've provided you, then you'll begin to come up with your own ideas for how you can use AI in your business. And some of you may even venture out to create products just as we have. And you know what that is? This is us shaping the future together. I want to thank you for joining us, and David and I are going to stick around to answer any questions after this webinar. We recorded this webinar in advance, but we are on live to answer any questions that you may have. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.